Hi, good afternoon. We are broadcasting live from Ramona Town Radio in Ramona, California. We're here for your drive home and the commute home and that traffic. But first, let's talk to Sally Hilton.
Hi.
Hi, Sally. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. Do you know that you have a radio voice?
I do.
You do.
I did not know that.
You do. It's a thing. It's good, though.
Well, fantastic. So, Sally, I have heard we've got a great show coming up for you.
Super excited. So we do. We have a little bit of Ramona reality TV.
That's fantastic.
Who knew that was a thing?
That is fantastic. So what do you think we're going to call this show?
We are going to call it The Truth in the Mirror.
I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. So what is this going to be about?
It is, we're going to take some ordinary women on a journey to body confidence and to confidence and higher self-esteem. Because that's my day job. That's what I do. I coach that. And so we're going to take them on a journey. We're going to do a number of little challenges and homeworks that they'll have to do week to week.
That sounds fantastic.
And they go on a transformation journey to feel better about themselves, their body, and to be confident.
Well, awesome.
Thanks.
And where did you come up with this notion? What brought you to this? So, I mean, there's something that had to have made you decide.
Yeah. Tell us about the journey. We need to know.
Do you?
We need to know about
it's a very long journey.
It sounds fascinating.
It's an hour show.
Oh, good. Well, let's extend it by 2, and we'll be great. So, so many of you in Ramona will already know that I used to have a boutique on Main Street, and I totally didn't realize that it was a thing that women go shopping, and shopping is a soul-destroying event for them. See, for me, shopping is like cardio. It's my favorite kind of like gym stuff. I love it. But apparently that's completely alien to like 90% of the female population, and they're totally not on board with shopping, and it is completely soul-destroying for them because you have to face some really difficult issues in the mirror all the time. You're facing yourself in a changing room. You're facing the fact that things don't fit or things are too small, and that the bits of your body aren't quite where the manufacturer of that clothing line says they should be.
I don't look like a Barbie.
Right, absolutely. And so you literally go shopping to confront your fear. And so every time you step into a changing room, you step into this little cubicle of fear and negativity. And it shouldn't be that way, you know. And so there would be ladies that would come in the store and literally break down in tears and cry. And it was a bit of a culture shock. So after that happened a couple of times, and I realized that it wasn't me, or the fact that the price of our dresses were ridiculously expensive and out of range, or something, you know, that we hadn't accounted for. I realized that something had to be done about it. And coming from England, obviously, and Europe, body image is talked about a lot more, and there's more of a culture around allowing women to be who they are, regardless of the shape or size. And I think because I grew up in that environment, it kind of permeated somehow, and this seemed completely alien to me. And so I started to do little workshops in the shop at night, and had ladies come in, and we'd do workshops and talk about tips and tricks to make them feel better about themselves. And that just led from one thing to another, and now that's a full-time thing for me. That's what I do. I have individual private clients that come to me, and we do, you know, confidence building. We do wardrobe consultation. Closet consultation is the American way to say that, right? And we just play at feeling better, and we do that just like children do that, through play and through little challenges, just like children learn and develop. That's what we do. We just have fun.
What a fantastic concept. So when you were doing this, I mean, you started with the clothes, the boutique, but then you really went past that and found that those fears in those people, and you just know how to fix them.
So I think I'm very privileged to be in a position where I am either completely in denial about the fact that I am fat, which is completely fine by me, because I would rather look in the mirror.
You're beautiful.
You're very sweet, thank you. But I would rather look in the mirror in denial and think that, you know, I'm the next America's Top Model, than look in the mirror and have some of the traumatic experience that I've seen other women have. So maybe it's a little touch of denial, but I genuinely think it's because the the body image scene is not as new, and it's not in its infancy like it is over here, like it is in America. And so the English people and European people have already started to retrain their brain and become cognizant of the fact that, you know, if somebody's airbrushed on the front of Vogue, they're airbrushed, you know, and there is such thing as a thigh gap, but literally there's only such thing as a thigh gap in 5% of the nation.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, if that's what you're chasing, if you're not top 5%, then good luck.
So then tell me, you were saying in Europe, there's a complete different image that you have of yourself versus what we do in America. How is that different? Tell me how.
You know what? What I think it is, and I spent a lot of time looking at it and trying to understand why I am so narcissistic. What it genuinely is, I think, because we have a healthcare system that we pay for through our taxes. It's not necessarily a privatized thing, so it's not a moneymaker. It's more of a money pit for the government.
Gotcha.
Right? And so because of that, there are certain things, certain foods, the amount of caffeine, sugar, whatever, is regulated for us. And so, for instance, I don't actually think there's such thing as a supersize at McDonald's at home, and a large is probably the same as a regular here. Everything is literally bigger in America. That's a thing, right?
So even the franchises that started here have smaller proportions.
Right, it's government regulation. So the government regulate what they give us so that, you know, we don't then drain the healthcare system being overweight and having those things. Absolutely. So because of that, there is a statistic that 63% of teenagers are bullied because of their weight or because of their appearance. And so those 63%, a majority of them, or some of them, majority is a broad statement, a large proportion of them will start smoking as a hunger suppressant.
Wow.
Which is not great.
Chew tobacco.
Right. Chew tobacco.
Do they chew tobacco?
Yeah.
Which is not a helpful thing for the health service, right? You've got a load of teenagers that are going to grow up to have lung cancer, that are going to grow up to be unhealthy.
Right.
And they're going to grow up to be obese and blah, blah, blah. So because of that, I think it's regulated, and some of the images that were shown are regulated also. So, yes, we have a lot of airbrushing, but there's also a number of companies that, like the big Dove campaign for Dove Cosmetics, they were all about every woman is beautiful in every shape and size. And so large companies like that started to talk about body image and started to talk about how people felt, because you buy with your emotions. If you feel good, you buy more. And so their marketing campaign started to completely revolve around that. And I've only seen that. I mean, I've been over here now probably about 6-7 years or so. And it's only maybe the last 2 or 3 years that in general mainstream media, there's a hint of body confidence or body image issues that are being talked about. And it's literally been over the last 2 years. So I think we're just a little bit further down the line in Europe, and I don't know why that is, but I mean, that's
interesting.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Sally Hilton with us. Her new show is going to be called Truth in the Mirror. We will be right back on Ramona Town Radio. Good afternoon. We are back here with Sally Hilton. Truth in the Mirror show is what we are talking about. This is an all-new reality TV show. This is going to be unlike any show America's ever seen before. We've got confidence coach Sally Hilton working here with us. Sally, welcome back.
Thank
Joe,
you.
welcome back.
Thank you.
So we were talking about our new show, Truth in the Mirror. Tell me a little bit more about this.
The fascinating thing about it for me is that each woman's journey is completely different. So it doesn't matter to me whether you are not confident about the top of your arms or the size of your feet or the color of your skin or your hair type or your height.
Right.
Every woman is different, and the root of those causes usually come from something or some life experience. So unless somebody has told you that a part of your body is wrong, how do you know that it's wrong? So it generally comes from somewhere.
Gotcha.
There is definitely something to be said for media in general and the way that a woman's body, and a man's body for that matter, it's just as hard to be Ken as it is Barbie.
I agree.
But you are Ken.
You look like Ken.
Yeah, right.
You are Ken.
If there was an action man figure for radio, that would be you.
Yeah.
So, you put me off my thread now. I was deep.
You were
So-
on a roll.
I was on
Yeah.
that.
I know, but
We
you
were
got
talking about the
Yeah.
body image
Right.
and
So-
what
and
the media gives
some
us
of
to
that-
think what we need to be.
I
Right.
have a question though. Does some of that attribute to bullying?
100%.
Some of it early on. You know?
So children start to recognize differences within themselves at the age of 3, which is great, and that's part of growing up. That's part of development. We're all different, and that's wonderful. But what we need to start instilling at that age is that we are all different, and our differences make us special and beautiful and unique, and they're the things that make you you. They're not the things that make you different and wrong to somebody else. So from the age of 3, potentially you open that door of judgment. Judgment is bullying, right? At some point, it turns into
Oh,
bullying.
absolutely.
And then by the age of 16, then we're talking 63% of children are bullied because of their body image, or because of their weight, or because of their teeth, or their nose, or their ears, or...
How is it handled in Europe? So if we were here in 4th grade on the playground and someone made fun of me for having a big nose,
Right.
does that happen in Europe?
It totally does. I think it's human nature, right? Because that is that 3-year-old that has grown up to 4th grade, however old that is in American terms, has grown up to that with that judgment. So that absolutely does happen, because that's human nature. That's how we're programmed to, and we are programmed to see differences in each other, like cavemen, right? You have to know the survival of the fittest, so you have to know which one you're going to pair with. And so we're programmed naturally to do that. But bullying, I mean, we've all been bullied, right? I think everybody has been. And I think every bully has been bullied. That's why a bully is a bully.
Absolutely.
Yes, I believe that.
So I think it happens worldwide. I don't think it's just a
But is it
US
handled?
epidemic.
Is it handled differently over there? Is it where teachers can step in and have more authority rather than here where they really can't touch anybody? We're not allowed to touch anybody because mom and dad's now cry that you hurt Junior.
Right. So you're talking to somebody who doesn't have a child. So I'm not particularly in the school system.
Gotcha. But the confidence.
There's discipline for sure. There was talk about 5 years ago of putting body image and body confidence on the curriculum for children, so that they would talk, even if it was just an hour every 6 months, but they would talk in class about the differences and about, how we should be treating each other, and to have some kind of moral code around it. And that you can be fat and healthy, you can be thin and unhealthy. Let's not look at labels as sweeping statements. And that is a conversation that was talked about being on the curriculum. And I know that there was a lot of talk within the Houses of Parliament and the Houses of Lords to do that. But then I moved. So I don't know whether that is still a thing or not. But
so back to your show, Truth in the Mirror.
Yeah.
How do you get these women to come forward and say, I really want some help?
Well, we want to do some more casting.
Okay.
So it would be really helpful if people could visit our Facebook page, which is Truth in the Mirror at ULM Media, I believe.
Truth in the Mirror on Facebook. I am actually looking at the page right now. Fantastic.
Okay. And then from there will be casting calls, and I would imagine that we would initially try and do that through video messaging. So it would be, you would submit a video of you, and whether you do that like on your phone, on a little video, just to say, this is me, this is my issue, this is what I want to work through. And it doesn't actually matter what it is that we're not feeling confident about. Like, there is a process for everybody. So I believe that 90% of women's issues do come from their personal appearance, because we're trained to do that. That's our job, to be attractive and lovely, because we're women, and that's what we're socially...
It's what you do.
Right, it's what we're socially designed to do. But as part of that, there are a number of different areas of our lives that bleeds over into. So, for instance, if you're not particularly comfortable with yourself, then does that mean that you don't have enough confidence or self-esteem to go to your boss and say, yo, I need a pay rise because I've been here for 12 years working my butt off and I don't know whether I deserve a pay rise or not. Maybe it is that you're not dressing correctly because you're not confident in yourself, and so the boss doesn't respect you as much as they should. Shut up, you look great. Or... No, it's fine. Or maybe it's that you don't feel confident in dating. Maybe you just came out of a nasty divorce. You don't feel particularly great about yourself. You've just had a couple of children. Your body started to change. Change doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone wrong. It just means that it's a different body than before children.
Right.
And so because of that, you lose your own identity, or you lose the confidence and the sensuality within yourself, and then do we struggle meeting new people and dating? So there are a number of different areas that body confidence kind of bleeds into. And so when we look at casting, we're going to look at a broad range of women that have a broad range of issues, because it would get terribly old to watch the same thing time out.
Absolutely fascinating.
Thanks.
I mean, I feel blessed in the fact that we have you here in our little town, Ramona.
Oh, stop.
And you are going to help so many women here. Even if they're not going to be one of the actual contestants.
Right.
People are going to tune in because they want to feel better about themselves. And a lot of people just don't know how to get started.
Sure. And I think it's nice to have somebody to identify with. I think we all think that we're alone in it. And it's just like, genuinely, the truth in your mirror. Part of the reason why we called the show that is that when you're in that changing room of despair and you are stood in that mirror, you are stood on your own. And there is only you in that mirror. And there is only you inside your head that's telling yourself over and over again that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too short.
Right.
Those feelings and that little inner voice comes from you, and it's made of you. And that's what makes it so isolating. But actually, genuinely, it is a real thing that only 2% of women in the world love themselves.
Wow. That's a really, really low percentage.
2% of the world.
That's crazy.
I have questions as a man.
Do it.
All right, we're on.
All right. We got a man.
Number one question, because, through my life dating and stuff, I've dated a lot of different women, and I don't know how to put this, but you'd be surprised. I think it also affects communication between a man and a woman.
100%.
I think that's and men, I think, probably get shot tomorrow for this, but we don't have all the answers. And sometimes we look at them and go, huh? Like we don't know what to do. And
right. And I think that's part of that voice. The voice is in our head.
Right.
Right. And so we spend a lot of time in our head trying to analyze that voice, or sadly listening to that voice over and over again, and we expect you to have the same reality as we do. Like, I expect you to look in the mirror and see exactly what that nasty little voice in the back of my head says about me.
Right.
And that's not a reality. That's not real life. And so because of that, when look at me talking to you like I'm actually in a relationship with you. That'd be
That's
so
hot.
nice, wouldn't it?
Just kidding.
Don't. When you're in a relationship with somebody and you're having those conversations, and relationships are just all about conversation and communication.
Right.
If I am flying in and out of bed and the bathroom really quickly, covering myself up with whatever I can find on the bedroom floor because I don't want you to see me in a compromising position looking like crap in the morning, then that's not healthy for either of us. That puts you on edge. It's obviously not healthy for the person that's doing it. It's not a nice place to be. And I think communication in relationships also comes from that same insecurity and that same negativeness in the back of your head. And you sit there and think, should I be texting now? Does this make me needy? It probably makes me needy because I'm not worthy. And I'm not worthy because I'm fat. Or I'm not worthy because I'm too short. Or it's the same voice in the back of your head. It's just insecurity.
Absolutely.
And we feed it.
I think it derails the relationship.
Absolutely.
It can, yeah.
I think it does.
No matter what, you can sit there and you can tell your wife, your girlfriend, whomever, how beautiful they are, how wonderful they are, how intelligent they are, because beauty is not just on your person, on your outside person. But if we've got that voice in our heads, it just eats at us. So you teaching people confidence is going to be just absolutely
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So fundamentally what we want to do is rewrite the narrative that little voice keeps chatting in the back of your head. Mm-hmm. So instead of you looking in the mirror over the space of time, and it takes time because we're now undoing a lifetime's journey of negative, we want that little voice to say, oh, do you know what? Your legs look all right today. Instead of, you look like a blob today.
Right.
Or,
absolutely.
Oh, your eyes are sparkly today. You look great. Like your lipstick went on well.
Here's trivia. I don't know if this helps. I can ask 5 buddies of mine what they're attracted to in their wife or their girlfriend, and it'll all be different. It's her eyes. It's her hair. It's her back end, or whatever. But you can get
she's a horse.
Yeah, right. Could be a horse.
Right.
Could be my horse.
Fantastic.
But I'm serious, or they're a leg guy. Every guy is different. So
true story.
Now that you're talking about this, I kind of connect a little bit because I've seen that where I don't think the ladies understand that every guy is different. He might like your eyes and not care about anything else. I mean, or your hair or your legs, and that's it. He don't care about. That's his thing. That's what he likes about you. There's something that gets him.
I think there's something to be said also. We're human, right? We are animals. I get the fact that there are bits of people that we find attractive because that's nature, literally, right? That's birds and bees stuff, and that will always be a thing. You'll never change it. But I also think there's something to be said about somebody's energy, and I call them people of the light, and they're people that project positivity from beyond their own footprint. Right, so these are special people. So, I actually think that you two are people of the light. I think you're very positive. I think people want to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People want to talk to you. You're very disarming. You're positive. You're smiley. You got the twinkle in your eye. So like on American Idol, they'll have a guy that goes up and he actually can't really sing as well as the others, but you just love him and you want him to win.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. The underdog syndrome.
Right. Because he's a person of the light. Because there's something about him that makes you think, oh, but he sparkles so cute. And we'll just vote for him because, he's adorable. Or he's attractive and he is, he's charismatic and he's an excellent performer. Not so much of a singer.
But his vocals just aren't up there.
Right. But he gets a vote and he stays in until like final 3 because everybody really likes him. He's a person of the light. And I think that there's something to be said for women that somehow project this confidence. I think if you walk into a room of somebody that only likes legs and you don't necessarily have a great pair of legs, but you go in there and you knock them dead, that's the woman that stops traffic. That's the one that 90% of men want to go home with.
Very true.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think more established men, I know as I've gotten older, we look at different things. I look at women a different way now than I did when I was 25, 30.
Can you remember that far back?
Yeah. Yeah. I take my vitamins,
All right. With that, we are going to go ahead and take a break. You have been listening to Sally Hilton with the Truth in the Mirror. I cannot wait for the show. We'll talk more in just a few more minutes. We are live in Ramona Town Radio.
So yes, Truth in the Mirror. So I think that we are expecting Truth in the Mirror to be airing around fall, right? If not before. Which is crazy exciting.
Absolutely.
And I know that we touched on casting beforehand, but it would be super wonderful if you are interested in being one of the ladies that I coach.
What if I want to do that? Where would I go?
Yeah.
Where
do
we
we
go
go?
to Facebook. Because that's where all the action happens, especially in Ramona, apparently.
Right.
So
Facebook,
Truth in the Mirror on
right.
Facebook. And you can either direct message us and say, hey, this is something that I really want to get involved in, and then we'll take the process from there. Or just like and follow. And any casting days that we have and any further information on the show, its trailers and airing, all of that will happen there first. Like that's our main social Media page.
Fantastic.
Oh, very good.
I know. I felt like my American accent was going to come out then, so I had to slow my roll.
I think they can find us through RTR Radio as well.
You can also go to Ramona News Network or RTR. It will be on our Facebook page as well as our actual page. You can go to RamonaTownRadio.com or Ramona News Network, and we will actually have the same link to go to Truth in the Mirror at Facebook.
Awesome. And then I will put a link up also on my coaching page,
Perfect.
which is Sally Hilton Official.
Sally Hilton Official.
Yeah.
.com or is it a .com?
No, it's a Facebook page, Sally Hilton Official. And it is on
Official.
everything, Snapchat, Instagram, all of it. So,
Wow.
Twitter?
Twitter, yeah. But I don't
Or is
really
that yesterday?
I don't really understand
Is that like last
Twitter.
month? Twitter?
I feel like I have too many words to do microblogging.
Yeah.
True, I would agree.
Right. You're very well spoken, too.
You're very
so.
sweet. I feel like my accent covers up a multitude of sins. You're very sweet.
No.
All right, so Sally, tell us a little bit more about your show. So if I go ahead and put in an application, what would be my next process?
You would sit and look at the computer with bated breath.
Okay.
And
I'm doing that. I'm doing that right
good.
now.
We got to write that down.
I'm staring.
Bated breath. Write it down.
Right. And then one of our team will contact you.
Perfect.
We're going to ask you to do a little video message of yourself so that we can see you, we can see how you interact. And then from there you'll be spoken to by the team. We have a little bit of a process to go through from there. And then when you're successful, well, that's when we take you to Hollywood and make you famous, right? That's the rule.
Fantastic.
That's our goal.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, it has been wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. And I just want to let you guys know that we will be back on here next Wednesday, June 28th at 5:30 p.m. until 7 p.m. with Sally Hilton. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please check out our Facebook page, Truth in the Mirror, or you can check out RamonaTownRadio.com or Sally Hilton Official on Facebook.
Goodbye.
Bye.